This is Farm Kenya show right here on KTN. My name is Kelvin Nyakundi, and today we'll be talking about hydroponic animal feeds. We'll be looking at animal feeds, but under the hydroponic type of agriculture. And joining us is Derek Mugodo, who is the founder, AgriPlant Kenya. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, and also, we don't want to forget him. Chef Ron, who is a sous chef right at Nairobi Street Kitchen. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, and what are you cooking for us today?
So today I'll be making a vegetarian taco. Its base is oyster mushrooms. We call it seta, the ostra.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So we'll go into the components a bit later on.
All right, no problem. We'll be waiting for that. So stick around. We'll be making a vegetable taco from Chef Ron right there. So let's get right into the conversation and look at hydroponic type of animal feeds. Derek, so you have animal feeds and then now hydroponic type of animal feeds.
Yes.
What necessitated this?
Well, thank you for having me on this show today. And hydroponic, first of all, is an art of farming where we are growing without using soil. When you look at this structure right next to us,
yes,
you realize we are just growing. Actually, there is no soil anywhere that we are using.
Okay.
So we realize that when we come to animal husbandry or animal production, the cost of feeds, we've found statistics that the cost of feeds are really high, day in, day out, and actually farmers need to have also quality feeds for their animals and be able to produce for themselves. So actually, that's where we found a gap that as time goes by, the cost of feeding livestock is always going up over time.
Okay.
So we asked ourselves, why can't we come up with a way of producing highly nutritious animal feeds over a short period of time, and also to help the farmers reduce on the cost of feeding.
Okay.
So that's where we come in with hydroponics, because it's a very fast way of growing highly nutritious feeds for livestock. And also it helps you to save costs.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Even as you've explained, let us look at the types of plants that can be grown or animal feeds that can be grown using this type of system. Is it every animal feed that can be grown here, or there are specific that can be grown under this type of plant?
Well, the hydroponic way of growing fodder, it can support for when we say livestock. We are talking of cows, talk of sheep, talk of even poultry, and even pigs. Basically, all livestock, they can be able to feed on this, whereby we have, in the process, or rather in the cycle of production, we feed to different animals at different stages of growth for this fodder. So basically, all types of livestock can feed on this.
Okay.
Yes.
And you can also grow any other type of animal feed using this system, right?
Exactly.
All right, so let us also look at the benefits of using hydroponic systems for producing animal feed. What are some of the benefits?
So, well, number one, with the hydroponic, you are saving so much on space. Like the system behind us, you realize this just sitting on a very small space of 3 feet by 1 foot, and it can feed up to 50 chicken within a day. Just one tray.
Okay.
50 chicken and 50 chicken within 1 day. So you realize we are saving on the aspect of space and also time. Within 7 days, you have ready feeds for your livestock, and within 4 days, it's ready for chicken and birds.
All right.
So, and again, it uses a very little amount of water, so you are saving on water. And also you are talking of, there is no electricity here, so you don't need even power. So you can produce year round. There is sustainability in this process, whereby you have continuous production, and also you have control over your inputs. So realize you are saving up to 40% of your production cost, and being highly nutritious, it has very high protein content that matches the other commercial feeds. and realize, since you are finding a way of saving on using commercial feeds, this is the appropriate way to go. We are encouraging farmers to adopt this technology. It's because as AgriPlant, we are also doing capacity building. We are training farmers across the country, and most of them are adopting this way of farming because, number one, you have increased production. When it comes to maybe you are having dairy cows, the milk content, rather the butter content in milk, and even the production per day, you realize a very tremendous growth.
Okay.
And even for layers chicken, you increase in production when it comes to layering.
All right.
And so on.
All right.
Yes.
Derek, now I want us to look at this structure, and you can just explain to us what is happening here. We have this this net over here, and we have this first. We have the bottom layer, the middle one, and the top one, and also we have something like a pipe here. So I think you can just explain to us what this is all about, so that at least we understand what is going on here. And can someone make bigger one than this? And now that you've mentioned about the number of chicken that can be fed using maybe this tray and this one, can we also get some sort of bigger trays that can handle even more types of feeds? So what do we have here?
Thank you so much again. So this is just a simple, rather portable hydroponic unit that you can move around with it. Maybe you are trying to relocate, or it's a portable and a small system. So the upper tray, you can just
come and
So realize that this upper tray, these are the barley seeds, but we can use other cereals like wheat, sorghum, maize. But now for our case, we are using barley seeds. So the process is very simple. You can see the structure is just made from locally available materials. Yes, you can.
Okay.
This thing is, you can disassemble.
Okay.
And carry it wherever you want to. So the process is very simple. You can see, because you can see the barley seeds, and you have these aluminum trays, but you can use even plastic trays. We chose aluminum trays because of durability, and also they are chemically treated to prevent rusting and so.
Okay.
So the process where it starts, first of all, you weigh your barley seeds. A tray carries about 1.5 kgs of barley seeds. First of all, you weigh them, and then you are going to wash them so that you can remove them. You can get rid of debris and other dirt, being animal feeds. And then you are going to soak for at least 4 hours. After washing, you soak for at least 4 hours, and then you are going to rinse it. Remove from the water, drain the water, and then leave it for about 18 to 24 hours. So that one is called pre-germination, or rather you are trying to incubate it. After the incubation period, you realize you'll start seeing some shoots.
Like these ones? Or these are different?
Yeah, actually, you're going to see, but not the green ones. They'll have started to shoot.
Okay.
So much evident. So then you are going to spread them on your trays. Just
like this?
The 1.5 kg, like this one is 1.5 kg.
Okay.
You spread them. And then after spreading, we will start what we call, you start to sprinkle water.
Just like that?
Just like that. You're sprinkling water. Maybe you have a hose pipe, or just manually using a watering can, whichever way. But sometimes we do systems that are self-irrigating. We try to automate and do sprinklers and moisture misters.
Okay.
And then, so at least twice a day you are watering. So after the fourth day, like this one is 4 days old.
This is 4 days old?
4 days old.
So 4 days ago they were seeds?
Yes, they were seeds.
Okay.
And now you realize that they have already started to form a carpet. Look at how it forms. Yes.
So this will turn to this?
Yes, after 4 days.
Okay. All right.
With constant watering, it's okay.
Okay.
And so this is also 4 days. But now what we normally do, we say day 1, day 2, day 3, and day 4. Because
so day 4
Yes.
Okay.
Day 4, they are ready to feed to your
So
birds.
this is ready?
This is ready for chicken and birds, the class of birds.
Okay. And can they grow bigger, of course?
Yes, yes. Because on the 6th day, they'll have grown up to this point.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And that one will be ready to feed to your goats, pigs, talk of sheep, the mid-sized animals. After the 6th day, you are ready to feed it to them. And then after the 7th and 8th day, now the cows, the big-sized animals, they can feed on after the 7th day.
7th or 8th day?
Yes. And realize
that's
that
for cows and the other big animals.
And realize with this one, there is no wastage. Actually, what the animal feeds on literally everything. Talk of the roots, the remaining parts of the seeds, and this. Yes. The animal feeds on everything. There is no wastage.
Okay.
Another advantage of this.
So you're just using water and everything is okay.
Yes.
So can we also put something like beans with this type of this system that you've put the seeds here?
Yes.
Can we also use this for beans as well?
Not really. You know, beans is a different class of cereals.
Yes.
But with these ones, we have the specific, the one that I mentioned. Talk of wheat, talk of barley, talk of sorghum, but now not the leguminous type of cereals.
Okay.
We don't use it on this system.
And what of this?
Yes.
This pipe.
So this one, you realize this system is made that it's slanting to a certain degree.
Okay.
Because we also don't want we want to avoid waterlogging. Waterlogging on this particular tray, it will start to cause formation of fungi and aflatoxins, which are very harmful to your animals. So they are made in a way that we are slanting it, so to allow the excess water to drain.
Yes.
So this one is going to drain to this one, this one drains to this one, and this one drains to the other one. At the end, you see there are holes.
Yeah.
There are holes on these trays. You realize that?
Yes.
To allow the excess water to do what? To drain. So this one is where we collect the excess water.
Okay.
And the excess water we are going to use is maybe to irrigate in other farms because we are trying also to avoid wastage.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for showing us this because it's very important for us to understand what is going on there. All right. So let us also look at the maintenance of such a particular structure. Yes. For example, when it comes to management system, how do you clean it? How do you make sure that at the end of the day, if you've had this for 4 days, the other next 4 days that are going to come, it's going to be squeaky clean?
Yes.
Yes.
So after you have harvested, what you do to the trays, you clean them and dry them. You clean it with clean water, and in some cases we even go ahead to sterilize. But if the farmer has no ability to do that, they can just wash with normal jig, and they dry them on direct sunlight before the next.
Pause. Aendelee. Okay, so just continue.
Yes. So immediately, rather before growing the next seeds.
Yes.
You have to clean the trays and dry them to remove any form of impurities that are left. And as well, you see, as I said earlier, the trays, rather the system is made to slant in one direction so that at no point there is no water logging to avoid also, rusting comes from stagnant water and aflatoxins in that same scenario. So the 2% degree that we slant the trays helps us to avoid such kind of contamination.
Okay.
Yes.
Even as we are now looking at the maintenance and also the management system, how often should it be cleaned, and where do you usually can someone just put it outside, or if it's inside like maybe a room, what are some of the ways in which you can make sure that these plants, as delicate as they look, don't get spoiled?
Yes.
Well,
first of all, as you look at this, you have this shade net over here.
Yes.
One thing I failed to mention is that the seeds, rather they sprout in a controlled environment, whereby we are trying to control the temperature as well as the humidity. That is the essence of this. So in cases of this, we try to avoid direct sunlight, whereby we are introducing this shade net, and we also try to contain and also to prevent it from invasion of pests and any kind of contamination. So also we try to avoid dusty areas where we try to install just to maintain. But the main essence is in a shed house. A shed house is simply this: it allows controlled airflow and also avoids direct sunlight, and also to prevent other maybe pests and the possible diseases that can come and affect this tender grass, because it's very tender.
Okay.
And after we do cleaning after every harvest, before you do the next production stage, you have to clean it the way we said earlier.
Okay.
Yes.
And now let's cross to the challenges, now that you've mentioned about how it's supposed to be. So when I look at the challenges of hydroponic animal feeds, because this is something that, you know, it's slowly starting and getting into the system.
Yes.
So what are some of the challenges of handling this, and how can we mitigate against the challenges?
Yeah, number one, we have to say that now, being a new technology that is starting to get roots in Kenya, number one, we have the know-how. Farmers need to be well trained, because to produce this, you need some technical training, because you are also at the verge of risking your crops. Rather, you can also risking loss of your inputs. So we really need to educate our farmers. And also maybe another challenge, the startup capital a bit is high. No, setting up the structures is normally farmers a bit high. But once you set up, maintenance is a bit low relatively. And also you realize we are using just locally available materials. But now, setting up that startup capital is the biggest challenge that we are experiencing. But going forward, the system is seamless, and once the farmer has the practical experience, it's easy now to grow.
All right, and also, if a farmer wants to do this on large scale, they want to do like a structure that is 5 times bigger than this or 10 times bigger than this, and they want to put it and use it for large scale type of hydroponic animal feed, but now they want to do it at a commercial level.
Yes.
How easy is it, and what are some of the things that a farmer needs to look at in terms of trying to make sure that at least the feeds come out with good quality?
Yes. So first of all, when we're actually designing this system, we start to check the size of livestock. Maybe how many cows the farmer has, how many chicken. Because for sustainability, or rather for continuous production, and to ensure that you have sufficient feeds for your animals, you must first of all design your hydroponic system. So for commercial feeds, or rather commercial setup, you realize that you can expand it. You can do it as big as you need it, because you'll just be increasing the number of trays.
Yes.
You'll just be increasing the number of trays. And you see it's not consuming so much space. You can continue going vertically as high as you can access. So it is very much possible, and it has allowance for expansion to any kind of, rather to any scale.
And how does this system contribute into environmental conservation? Because now everyone is trying to go green. Companies and organizations are trying to do that. So when you look at environmental conservation with this kind of system, what are we looking at in terms of it contributing to this?
Yes. Number one, you realize that we are not using soil anywhere.
Yes.
So, and many a times when we are doing conventional type of farming, even you realize most farmers are using, synthetic fertilizers to grow, fodder in the farm. So realize there is soil degeneration. But here we are trying to avoid. So we are even allowing our soils to regenerate. Okay? And also number two, when we are doing this vertically, we are also helping to reduce carbon footprint. Because you realize any green you are trying to grow vertically, it helps to reduce to do carbon fixation. So that is another way that we are leaving soils to generate, and we are also doing reducing the carbon footprint, and eventually we are also trying to maintain our biodiversity when we are delving into such technology. Yes.
Okay. And lastly, before we conclude this particular conversation, you've spoken about the importance and the advantage of it to the environment.
Yes.
But are we looking at it also polluting the environment in a way? And what are some of the ways in which someone cannot enable it to continue polluting the environment if it does?
Yes. So, yes, we without proper, when the process is not well assimilated, it may pollute in a way. Because you take an instance, maybe a farmer who grows this without a proper plan, and maybe they end up not feeding, or rather they do it wrongly, and maybe it goes ahead to affect the livestock, or maybe they end up disposing not in a proper way, because this system normally requires, because we need to feed it when it's still fresh. Why? Because when cereals or other grains come in contact with water, they can grow molds very fast. So whenever a farmer does not, have a proper plan of growing and feeding, they may end up disposing. That is a waste and also a risk to the environment. But you when you do it seamlessly and with a proper plan, the way we have just explained, you try to reduce. Actually, it has more advantages to the environment than even the disadvantages with proper know-how. Yes.
All right. And lastly, the cost of this, setting up this, and also the net, and the trays as well, because someone who's watching is asking, okay, so how much can I get maybe this, or if I'm making it, what will it cost me? Yes.
Well, the cost is relative to the size of livestock, but as you realize, we can even use wood structures. Wood just from timber that can be sourced locally. You can use it to help reduce on the cost of setting up this, and also the aluminium trays. They are also much affordable and available. So with this kind of system, it's very affordable to even small scale farmers, and realize you can start small. You can do as little as your livestock is. Even if you have one cow, you can have just a system with 7 trays, which may cost you less than 5,000. And you have your startup seeds, and you have your structure, which you have even space for expansion. Yes. So most of these things are locally available, making it affordable.
So with less than 5,000, you can make something like this?
You can get started.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us and just explaining to us about hydroponic animal feeds. I believe you've learned something about this particular system. It's rather a new system of animal feeds, and you need to just take it up because it contributes a lot into making sure that our environment is conserved the way it's supposed to be. That is Derek Mugodo, who is the founder, AgriPlant Kenya, speaking to us about hydroponic animal feed. My name is Kelvin Nyakundi, but remember, don't go too far. Well, of course, we have to cook, and Chef Ron will be coming later on after the break in order for him to just show us a little bit of something you can cook at home. So don't go too far.